Hey, what's up and how's it going, all MRBers? I am Mike McRock and I'm your co-host for the McRock and Bolt Wrestling Review Show. And right now, I'm about to give you my predictions for TNA Impact Wrestling's pay-per-view event this Sunday, Lockdown. So when I look at the card for this Sunday's Lockdown TNA pay-per-view event, I'm actually interested in almost every single match that's on the card with the exception of one in particular, which I will get to later on. Now, going into this pay-per-view event, I like to see something that TNA has done years ago, and that's start the pay-per-view with some X Division high-flying action. Case in point, there's a match on the card that has Bad Influence and Chris Sabin teaming up, and they will take on the Great Muta, Sanada, and Tiger Uno. Now, the Great Muta and Sanada are two Japanese guys that are coming in from Japan, and will be at this Sunday's pay-per-view event, as well as the debut of Tiger Uno. And you have a good heel faction of Bad Influence. A good tag team of Bad Influence, as well as Chris Sabin. And this is a good match to, like I said, kick off Lockdown. You want to get into the show with some high-flying action. A match where there's no build-up, there's no story behind it, but still have that match where you're going to get ready for an interesting card. And I think with this match, I think the baby faces will win because Tiger Uno is debuting at the pay-per-view event. So that's the reason why I think that the Great Muta, Sanada, and Tiger Uno will go over in this match. We also have Mr. Anderson going one-on-one with Samuel Shaw, and coming off of the casket match that Mr. Anderson had with Bully Ray, as well as defeating Bully Ray and the Aces and Eights to close that storyline. There's really no need for Mr. Anderson to win anything now. And Samuel Shaw, all I have to say is thank you, TNA. Thank you for giving us refreshing new characters to help build up and help develop. And I think the logical thing to do for this match is to have Samuel Shaw go over Mr. Anderson to display him as the creepy bastard on TNA. And I think that would be the smart booking decision when it comes to this particular match. Tying into that, we also have Gunner versus Cowboy James Storm, and I think if TNA gives Gunner the victory, I think you're missing out on continuing this rivalry. And to me, if Gunner wins this match, it would come the rivalry to close. I don't want to see that happen. I actually want to see this rivalry continue between these two, and I think that Storm and Gunner work pretty well with each other. They have good chemistry, and I think, in all likelihood, I think James Storm should win this match because he's coming off as a heel. He has turned on Gunner last Thursday on 2 weeks ago, actually, on Impact, and I think TNA needs to capitalize on that and give him the bone here. And I think that this rivalry after the match should continue later on down the road and have it resolved maybe in another month or two. Moving on to the Knockouts Championship match, and like I said, there's always that one match at a pay-per-view event that I'm not really crazy about, and this is that match because of the lack of story behind it, because we never really got that reason why Madison Rayne has turned on Gail Kim and why she's attacking her. And an excuse like, oh, she's in cahoots with Lady Tapa is not really a good explanation to me. And with that being said, that's the reason why I'm not really looking forward to this match. However, TNA delivered us a good knockout street fight match, so I hope that this match going into Lockdown is better than the story. And with that said, I think in all likelihood, I think Madison Rayne will retain her Knockouts Championship, because it would make no sense for Gail Kim to win. And what I also like to see is to make this match even more stand out on the card, tease some dissension with Gail Kim and Lady Tapa, and have Lady Tapa somehow cost Gail Kim the match. Something like that, I think, needs to happen to have that interesting factor, because to me, there's no interest with this match whatsoever. Up next, we have Kurt Angle going one-on-one with Ethan Carter III. I think that going into this match, Kurt Angle really doesn't need to win. He doesn't gain anything if he beats Ethan Carter III, and I think when it comes to Ethan Carter's career in TNA, in the long-term view, I think a win over Kurt Angle will really solidify his character, and defeating Kurt Angle, a top-tier guy in TNA, would be a good place to start for Ethan Carter, and I think that's the way TNA should go with this match. Also, we have the Steel Cage Lethal Lockdown. It will be Team Dixie Carter, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, and the Bromans. And before I go any further, I just want to say that the Bromans, I think, are the wrong team to be involved in this match, because of the way TNA has portrayed them as guys that, to me, don't feel like that they belong in this match. And to me, I get that feeling with the Bromans. I would rather see Bad Influence in this match instead of the Bromans, because of the history that the Bad Influence has with Bobby Roode, the whole ego faction. But what I do like is that they kind of dropped that, and I think TNA does not need to do any more factions in the near future. Now I'm just rambling on. I'll get right back into it. They will face Team MVP. MVP will be wrestling along with the Wolves, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. And it seems like they're going into a direction of having Jeff Hardy being involved with Team MVP. I think if that's the case, there's really no need for Jeff Hardy. Well, not that there's no need. I think if it is Jeff Hardy, to me, Jeff Hardy just feels like a filler to fill in Team MVP. That's all there is to it. Now, there's also the idea of Will-O-the-Wisp as well. I don't know where this is going to go with Jeff Hardy, because we all know he's Will-O-the-Wisp, and I just hope they just don't go the route of Abyss and Joseph Park angle and play on that again. It's too many recycled storyline shenanigans. So I think that, in all honesty, Will-O-the-Wisp should be the one to be the character to come in with Team MVP. That's just my opinion here. And I think overall, now there's also the stipulation of if Bobby Roode wins, if Team Dixie wins, Bobby Roode will own 10% ownership of TNA. Now, they could play upon that. Now, if they go the route of Team Dixie defeating Team MVP, I think that would be a bit of a letdown, because Team MVP has just made his return to the wrestling business and his debut in TNA, and I think they need to capitalize on that and have Team MVP win this match. And I just want to make the comment of MVP as well. I think that, to me, it would be better if someone else would be the team leader instead of MVP, because I want to watch MVP as the authority figure, and watching him be the wrestler, I think it's kind of like a make up your mind situation. well, you get what I'm saying. I hope. I think that Team MVP will be the ones that will win this match. Now, I don't know about Bobby Roode and his whole 10% ownership thing. There's a storyline build up with him and Dixie Carter. You could go the route of having Bobby Roode already having 10% ownership and turning on Team Dixie to have Team MVP go over. I think, in all likelihood, we'll see the full face turn of Bobby Roode after this steel cage lethal lockdown match. And the main event will be Magnus versus Samoa Joe for the World Heavyweight Championship inside the steel cage. And just based on how TNA has been treating both guys individually, you might as well have Samoa Joe win this match because of the way TNA has been booking him as that dominant force that just cannot be stopped at all. And he's been great. TNA has finally given him the ball here, and he's running with it. And I think that with that reason, Samoa Joe should be the champion. And when it comes to Magnus, the guy that pretty much has been winning uncleanly and getting all these dirty victories, having someone interfere, outside interference, etc., etc., you might as well have him lose the championship because he lost credibility when it comes to that aspect of being the champion. And I think in all likelihood, the way that this is going to go, I won't be surprised if Magnus retains the championship, and I think that's the direction where TNA will probably go with this match. However, I think my prediction, I'd like to see a surprise factor and have Samoa Joe win. You can, bill it as, Samoa Joe having Magnus submit. And it's under Samoa Joe rules as well. It's only via submission and knockout. In all likelihood, when someone has that stipulation that has their advantage, odds are the other guy's going to win. And I think that's what's going to happen here. There's going to be some predictability issues with this match, and in all likelihood, I think Magnus will be the one to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship after TNA Lockdown. So what are your predictions for this Sunday's pay-per-view event, TNA Lockdown? Whatever they are, comment below and let me know. While you're at it, you can hit that subscribe button just down below this video. You can follow MRB Wrestling on Twitter and like Mick Rock and Bolt Wrestling Reviews on Facebook. And we'll see you this Sunday in Miami, Florida for TNA Lockdown. And on a final note, to all you viewers watching, get plenty of rest. And always do your best.